In the previous video, I shared one idea that completely changed the way I think about marketing. Parents don't buy because you convince them, they buy because you've answered enough questions for them to convince themselves. And those questions change as they move through your decision-making journey. But here is where it gets really interesting, because once you understand that journey, you can actually tell where a parent is on that journey just by listening to the words they use. Seriously, parents tell you exactly where they are. Now, most sleep consultants just don't realize they're listening for clues. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine a parent sends you a message that says, "My baby has never been a good sleeper. Is this normal?" Would you start explaining your packages? Of course not, because that's not the question they are asking. They are trying to understand if they even have a problem. Now imagine another parent says, "My baby wakes every 90 minutes. I've tried changing wake windows, I've tried an earlier bedtime, I've tried white noise, nothing is working." Can you hear the difference? This parent already knows they have a problem. They are looking for solutions. Now imagine someone says, "I've been reading about the Verba method and the chair method. Which one do you recommend?" Again, different question, different parent, different state. They're no longer asking if something is wrong. They are now comparing solutions. Now let's go one step further. A parent asks, "Do sleep consultants actually work?" Or, "How is working with a sleep consultant different from just following advice that I can find online?" Now they're no longer comparing methods. They are comparing ways to solve the problem. They are wondering if hiring someone is worth it. And finally, you get the message that every sleep consultant loves to hear. "I've been following you for months. My friend recommended you. I've read your website. I've watched your videos. I think you are exactly what we need." You notice something? They aren't asking whether they should hire a sleep consultant. They are asking whether you are available. This is a completely different conversation. Now, here's the mistake I see all the time. Sleep consultants think they are talking to one audience, but they're not. They're talking to parents at completely different stages of the journey. Imagine 5 parents standing right in front of you right now. One wants to know if waking 6 times a night is normal. One is comparing sleep training methods. One is deciding whether to hire help. One has narrowed it down to 3 sleep consultants, and one is ready to book today. Would you say exactly the same thing to all 5? Of course not. But that's exactly what most of us do with our marketing. We write one Instagram post and hope it's going to speak to everyone, but it won't, because every parent is asking a different question. And this is why I don't create content anymore. I answer questions. Every blog I write, every email I send, every reel I film, every YouTube video I record starts with one simple question. What question is my ideal parent, my ideal client asking today? Because when you answer that question, you earned the right to answer the next one and the next one, until hiring you feels like the natural next step. Not because you sold or convinced them, because you guided them. So here's something I want you to try this week. Go back through your Instagram DMs and read the last 20 conversations you've had with parents. Don't look for keywords, look for questions. Write them all down, then ask yourself, what stage was this parent actually in? And you're probably going to notice something you've never noticed before. Because most of your inquiries don't disappear because they weren't interested. They disappear because you gave them the answer to question number 6 when they were still trying to answer question number 2. And that is a huge difference. In the next video, I'm going to show you why most content doesn't convert. And again, this is not because your content is bad. It's because it's answering the wrong question to the wrong parent. And once you see it, you will never plan your content the same way again.